We are with the Black Widow herself, Miss Jessica Borga.
Hey.
What's happening?
Good to be back.
It's been a little while since we had you on. You've had some wins, you had some losses. You've been on the cover of some magazines now too. What's been going on, man? You've been blowing up, homie.
I've been just keeping busy, keeping going. No matter what, losses, wins, just getting experience. That's what it's all about.
Me and Brad were talking. We were throwing that professional word around last time we talked. Now we're about, I think, what are we, 7-8 fights into our amateur career? Are we getting closer to that time? Have you and your coaches sat down and discussed that, or you're just kind of waiting to see what the next opportunity brings?
Well, actually, yeah, we've talked about it. I've had 9 amateur fights in the last 2 years, so I've been trying to stay as busy as possible through injuries and through bouts cancellation and stuff like that, which happens in the fight game. It's expected, but I was actually scheduled to fight more than the 9 times that I did. But yeah, we have talked about it. It's getting close to that time. I just want to test myself at least a couple more times, and got a fight coming up. Actually, I don't think that I can really say anything about what it is exactly or where, but not yet because it hasn't been announced with the promotion. But this one is going to be my biggest test yet, and I'm stoked for it. This is my redemption fight. This is something that I got to make right.
Well, the fact that you're calling it a redemption fight and make it right is leading me to believe we're going to be experiencing a rematch.
Actually, it's a girl that beat a girl, or that beat the girl that beat me. So it's even better. This one's bigger and better with a way better record, 8-1. So she has a better record than me.
That? You get that? It's the girl that beat the other girl that beat that girl that I'm going to beat that girl. That's what it is.
No, just the last time I was there, she beat me, and this girl beat that girl. So if I beat her, in my book, we're good. It's even.
You can have a triangle death match going on, a trifecta match. Just all three of them. Get in the cage!
Yeah, I would be all for that.
Make it happen. It's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride. What's the most interesting experience you've had lately?
Oh, interesting. I think I've had one of the most interesting careers so far as an amateur that I know of. It's funny. I actually fight pretty often compared to others that I see amateur-wise. I fight pretty often. And if I don't fight 1 month, I get people coming at me like, "Are you still fighting?" I'm like, "Man, I fought the last 4 months in a row. What do you just give me a month off, girl? Jeez." But the most.
You didn't come to my last fight?
Yeah, that's what I was like. I just fought 2 weeks ago, and people are like, "Do you got another fight scheduled?" And I'm like, "Dude, calm down. I'm trying here."
Yeah, 2 weeks. I'd like to eat maybe a piece of pizza before I go and fight somebody else.
Yeah, they don't know. It's like, dude, I'd fight every week if it wasn't for a weight cut. Trust me. But the most, I'm trying to think of the craziest experience I've had. Sorry.
Yeah, that's one of the things I want to. Well, no. Don't ever be sorry about cutting me off. You're the one that they come to listen to. But
yeah, just tell them to be quiet.
One of the things I want to talk to you about is when you do go for pro, because a lot of times when you're an amateur, you guys really don't focus on a particular weight class and or anything like that. When you go and turn pro, where do you intend to stake your claim, so to speak? Is it going to be flyweight? Is it going to be bantamweight? What are your
Well, me and my coach, we're doing this little game here, rock, paper, scissors. No, if you ask me what I want to be at, I want to be bantamweight. But he says flyweight. So, I mean, it's
Oh.
yeah, we haven't quite decided that yet. To be determined.
Flip a quarter.
Yeah.
We're flipping coins for weight classes in there. I mean, hey, like, listen, you know your body better than anybody. I mean,
Yes.
I would say
I felt more comfortable.
You know, I mean, like, listen, it's just if he finds other opportunities for you at that weight class, I just wouldn't say I wouldn't turn it down altogether. But you know, I'm also a big believer in, you know, fight closer to where you naturally walk around. I really don't think fighters should cut any more than 12 pounds for a fight. You know, anything more than that is you're playing with dangerous territories and stuff like that. I just think, I mean, I'm really glad to see that, you know, you're starting to see, you know, these sanctioning bodies realizing that we need more weight classes. They just approved more weight classes being, you know, available for fighters. I don't know what promotions are going to pick them up or whatever, but it's good to see that they're seeing that this is a problem and these are things that they need to find ways to make things safer for you guys. So, you know, as a fan first, it's good to see that they're going to open more weight classes. I know people, you know, fight fans are complaining. It's going to be like, oh, there's going to be just like boxing, where you're going to be a new champion for every 5 pounds. It's going to be like, you don't, unless you shut up. Because some of these fans, they think they can say and talk about anything they want. Like, listen, it's one of the things that just drives me nuts. Like, listen, I get that you're going to have more weight classes, you're going to have more champions, the weights will be closer together, but these fighters will be able to fight healthy. They won't look like freaking Skeletor when they get on the scale. We just seen a fan basically go and tweet out a photo of Bar Ponchek basically insinuating that she looks like a crack, you know, the W word. I'm not going to repeat that.
Well,
and it's like, hello, they're at the Ultimate Fighter house. They're going to be, she probably had cut down to flyweight 3 different times in a matter of 6 weeks. Let's see how much how you look after having to do an experience like that. I'm sure you're not going to look like, you know, you weren't, you know, on the 10th stage of death. Get out of here, people, man. Come on.
The 10th.
Yeah, they have no idea. It sucks. It sucks. I am glad, though, that they have opened up more opportunities for weight classes. I do think that's a great idea. But, yeah, we're still talking about where I feel more comfortable. You know, just the weight cut can really affect my performance, or anyone's performance, not just mine. And I don't want to take a loss, especially in pro, because of a weight cut issue. So, not to say that I couldn't do it if I've learned a lot about weight cutting, I think that I could.
But I think the fact that you realize this could be an issue and that you're debating the topic is meaning that we have already, as a sport, realizing that this does affect fighters more than a promoter or recognize, that the media recognizes, whatever, that you guys moving forward, so you might have this opportunity, but that's really not at the weight class I want to do. So, maybe I might have to pass on this one. I just fought, 2 weeks ago. I didn't think I was going to have a fight, so I've already gained like another 10 to 12 pounds for me to cut that back down and then make weight in that period of time. It's just not a safe thing.
Yep.
Fighters need to say no. Just because you miss that one opportunity doesn't mean you take that fight, you get hurt, you lose your stock, you just pushed yourself back 2 steps because you thought you're going to miss out on an opportunity. Unless it's like really like one of these bigger promotions, I tell a lot of these fighters, don't take the opportunity you feel like you're going to jeopardize something with, especially if it's short notice.
Yep, and weight cut, if it affects your mind is your best weapon. And if you destroy your mind on weight cutting, it's just not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah, we were just talking about Carl Roberson. We were just talking to Carl Roberson about how we were talking about, hey, it's important to maybe get into the mind of your opponent and break them down so when they get to the cage, they're already beat. Now, let's say somebody got into the mind of that opponent, and then they're having a hard time cutting their weight. So then it's a double whammy right there. So by the time they get into the cage, they're like, oh, dude, who am I?
They're already defeated. Yep. Yep.
But you also touched on the other side of that, Jessica, that from dehydrating yourself on those on the scales and putting yourself at risk, you're taking stuff away from your brain. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone
you really
realizes the effect. People, they don't. They just think you guys are just losing weight and maybe a little bit dehydrated. Well, where do you think some of that water comes? You do know that our brain sits basically in a body of water, right? You take water away from that, what do you think happens?
It does.
Yep, and a lot of people, the way they cut weight is cutting out all those carbs. Your brain feeds on carbs. Your brain works off carbs, and people don't do it. You're not doing it the right way. Yeah, exactly. You're going to have slower reaction time. You're going to have slower this, that. You can't take away from your brain, your mind. You can't take away from it.
That's why you need to take fish oil.
Yeah.
Omega-3.
Get those omegos in.
Hey, Jessica, you talking about like a lot of like openings with a different weight class. Now, we saw the featherweight division open up in the UFC, and we saw Jermaine de Radame just say, hey, I don't want to fight. I don't want to defend my belt. I don't want to fight Cyborg. If you were, like, given the same predicament and you had the belt, would you have handled that differently? Would you say, I don't want to fight this person. I just don't believe in what she has to do or offer, or would you just say, hey, I want to defend my belt. I'm a champion.
I will fight anybody and everyone. I do not care how long they've been in the sport. It's just experience. I'll fight Cyborg. I don't care.
It's like, what does that mean, really? If somebody's willing to just give it away, I mean, was she just saying there's nobody in this weight division? It doesn't even matter right now at this point. But, I mean, I don't know how you could do that. Just give your belt away.
Yeah, I would not be able to. They're going to have to pry it from my dead hands.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna be Jermaine Duramity's thing. Okay, listen. You know, don't they tell you a lot when you're growing up is don't kind of go with the status quo that everyone does. You know, kind of be the tree standing against the wind. Nobody has ever done what Jermaine just did. She feels the way she feels about things. She feels that there's a lot of questions that surround Chris and stuff like that. And, you know, I think it's the first time everyone's ever been basically stripped of a title with basically no, you know, with no medical reason, being injured or some extracurricular activity outside of the sport causes the fighter to be inactive and be stripped of a title like that. It's the first time we ever seen someone stripped for flat out just didn't want to defend it. She feels the way she feels about it. Okay, like, you know, we all have different aspects on how we see this and how we see that. You know, you have to say, you know, Chris did test positive for anabolic steroids. You know, more than a handful of years ago. A lot of people had a lot of questions about when she was flagged at the beginning of December for what she was flagged for. Now, she said it was to help recover from, you know, the bad weight cut she had over the two fights going down to 140. But the problem was that fight was like 3 months from the testing point. So how is 3 months later you're still being affected by that weight cut? Granted, regardless of, you know, we all can walk down to our doctors and you know, pay for a visit and ask them to write us a note to say that we were under their care and we were using this and blah, 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 blah. Especially if you're a professional fighter. You know, let's not act like that stuff doesn't happen. So I see where she's coming from, but at the same time, it's Chris Cyborg. It's probably going to be one of the biggest fights of your career. I get where she's coming from, but I also get the other side where people are like, dude, that's kind of cowardly. It's weird because you look prior to her winning the title before she won her last fight in Rotterdam. She was one of the girls who was vocal, said that she wanted to fight her. So what changed in that period of time? The only thing I see was that recent run-in with the USDA, and I just think that had a way that she has a feel about it. You know, she's one of these fighters that comes from like that Muay Thai kickboxing background where they probably rest more on like loyalty and respect than just the biggest fight. You know, the more money you get, stuff like that. So her loss, but
that is true. Mm-hmm.
In retrospect, she literally just made Chris Cyborg a star at the end of the day. Because if she won, let's say they had the fight, she found a way to beat Chris regardless if she stopped or won a decision, you know, close fight, she winds up grinding it out, whatever. Then now she's a star regardless. But you know, we all have our own path to walk down in life. She decided she wants to take a stand and say, "Listen, I'm not doing this." I respect her for that. I may not agree with her decision. But at the end of the day, it's her career, it's her brain, it's her body. Let her do what she wants.
That's true. I mean, she had a valid reason if it was for the steroids. but I would still do it. And
Jessica, I'm with you. Like I said, like dude, the fact that I'm sitting here listening to you say that you want to fight Chris Cyborg, and you're arguably 2 weight classes under her, I love you even more as a fighter, my friend. That's the type of fighter.
And an amateur. I know I'd probably get my butt kicked in the first round, but I would put up a hell of a fight in the first round at least.
Hey man, as long as you make it entertaining, I'm sure people would watch. And listen, like I said, I've been following your career for some time. I can't wait for you to turn pro. I think, you know, as a personality, as a person, your fighting style, everything you bring to the table, you could be as big as some of these fighters that are in the UFC. It's really up to you to see what road fate takes you down or whatever. But you know, I know I might be a little bit biased because I've been following you for some time, but you know, I like what opportunities you could have and where they could lead you. You know, hopefully when you make your pro debut with at some of these larger promotions like King of the Cage, stuff like that. And you know, I hope you and your team do get the good opportunities, the right fights to go places. Now I got to ask you, you know, the balance of what is considered the larger promotions have kind of shifted over the last 3 years or so. We're starting to see a lot more fighters kind of go over toward Bellator. That being said, there is no bantamweights, excuse me, in Bellator, which you also said bantamweight's where you feel you want to be. But there's flyweights in Bellator. There's a new flyweight division about to come out here in the UFC. If you could lay out a perfect road for you, which road would it lead to? Would it lead to Viacom and Bellator, or would it lead you to, you know, Dana White in the UFC? If you're writing the story, where does it go?
Well, right now, I mean, I would have to actually hear the offers that they would make me on Bellator, and of course, like you said, there might be more.
I love that.
I mean, honestly, UFC, yes, it's the ultimate, you know, fighting championships. But yes, like you said, a lot of people have been going to Bellator saying that, you know, they're paying better and the promotion of UFC and everything is kind of changing, and there's different viewpoints on it, but honestly, I mean, I would have to wait until I get to that. You know, I want to do at least a few pro fights in a bigger organization than maybe Invicta, and then, you know, possibly UFC or Bellator. It just depends on, I mean, UFC is the ultimate goal, honestly, right now. That is my goal. And I'm hoping to be pro at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So as far as, you know, that goes.
And Jessica, real quick too, why don't you plug your GoFundMe too while you're at it?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it right now, and that's a good move. I mean, really. I mean, if you're a fight fan and you love watching Jessica Borga fight, maybe you get a donation or two, right?
Yeah, it's harder than it seems that people don't realize how much amateur-wise us not getting paid to get punched in the face. It's a little bit hard at times to travel as much as I want to go train around the world, because I'm having a couple things come up that I want, you know, to go train with some really amazing fighters. So that being said, it's not the easiest when I don't get paid to fight as well.
But that's the goal. That is the goal.
Well, and hopefully, hopefully the next fight we don't have to be having that conversation with her anymore. That she's able to get paid for her fights, to be able to get paying sponsors to take care of things for her. So, it's one of the reasons why I would like to see her go pro, so she doesn't have to struggle with these type of things. She was talking about it as we were going along with this. How hard it is for the amateurs, especially with fights. I mean, you might be scheduled to have a fight, and Jessica often takes time, takes travel to go from Florida up to New England to fight. And who's to sit there and say that she, some of these things that I've seen has gone crazy before. Like, you're an amateur fighter, you had to fly all the way from Florida to New England for a fight. You go weigh in, you make weight. You get a call 2 hours later, your opponent never showed up, the fight's off.
Yeah, that's disheartening.
Like, that's like the ultimate dagger in the back, however you want to use, whatever metaphor you want to use for that. So when these fighters turn pro, I love it because they get the opportunity, one, to get paid for all the sacrifice and their time away from their friends, their time away from their family, kids, whatever, to go and chase that dream and actually be able to be taken care of for it, be actually be able to go and secure sponsorships and actually be paid for things, not just, here's a hat and a T-shirt, thanks for everything, make sure you plug my stuff on social media. And that's usually where that ends at for an amateur. Now, as a pro, it's like, okay, here's my T-shirt, here's my hat, where's my PayPal is this, make sure X amount's in there, and we'll take care of you guys. It's going to be interesting, especially with the type of person that she is. I guarantee you, man, she's going to be bringing in a lot of attention, especially, she's, being on the magazine, getting more exposure that way. It's going to be interesting to see, what type of companies reach out to her. Hopefully, seeing how her arms are all tatted up, I'm assuming you're gonna try to find some tattoo parlors to get some more ink on there, right?
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because how often I've actually been fighting. It's hard to fit in a tattoo with the training camps. So I'm planning on getting more though.
Okay. Hey man, I was just throwing some ideas out there for you too.
What's the next one?
It comes down time for that. I feel like
I do actually have a tattoo sponsor.
You do? That's awesome.
See, but what he's talking about, like, we know you have this next opportunity fight lined up, but after that, are you going to try to squeeze that next session in? And if so, do you have an idea of what you're going to get done?
Yes, I do plan on fitting that in, definitely. It's going to be finishing my whole sleeve on the one side. It's almost done. I just got some shading and stuff to add to it. And I'm hopefully going to turn the other one into a sleeve too, but I also have a thigh piece that's going to go down from my side to, my rib cage all the way down to my thigh. So it's going to be covered.
That sounds gnarly. Gnarly. But
it's going to take some
time. Is it going to spell
destruction?
Is it going to spell destruction down your side? Destruction?
That's actually a pretty awesome idea. I might fit that shit in.
Nah, you got to put that on. Going down the forearm towards the elbow.
Oh, I already got one there.
Yeah.
I got second to none.
I don't know. Maybe. No, the shin bone kind of hurts. Open up though.
Hey, Jessica, are you a football fan at all?
Not really. I don't follow it as well as I probably should. I'm more of like a hockey fan because they fight in it.
Oh, yeah. So who's your favorite hockey team?
Tampa Bay Lightning. Big surprise there.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It does make sense.
Okay, that's it. I officially like you less now. I officially like you less. Hey, I'm a Flyers fan, man. We're going to have problems. That's just the way it works. Freaking
Vinny.
You mean?
We got problems over
and then not just that, the freaking GM straight robbed us blind setup over the last 10 years. Bang. All right, I'm done being made now. We can move on from that. But Jess, you know how we do as we
thank you.
as we close.
So are you.
As we close things up tonight, we throw the proverbial microphone over to you. Anyone you would like to thank, training partners, teammates. Shoot out those social media sites, any websites, charities you're working with, sponsors, anything of that nature. The time is yours, my friend.
All right, I'll go through them pretty quick. I got a few sponsors that I'm going to, of course, give a shout-out to. My team, Champions MMA, helping me get as far as I've come in the amount of time that I've been doing it. They're awesome. I appreciate everything that they do. Doc Lai with Veterinary Specialties Incorporated, all 5 of his clinics, veterinary clinics are they're amazing. He's the best boss I could ask for. He helps me out a lot with my schedule. Kelly Somerville with Life Love Photography. She's the one that makes all that modeling worth it. The Chiropractic Center of Lakeland, Rock City Tattoos and Piercings, Ambassadors for Fighting for Autism, Bergen Gonzalez Law Firm in Tampa, B&L Tires, Anytime Fitness, Otis 12 Bar and Grill, and Holly Custom Paintings, and G&G Electric, and of course Winter Circle has been a major help, especially this year, on helping me with finance as well for traveling and stuff like that as well. He's a really good friend of mine, so I wanted to give him a huge shout-out. Bill, so he'll hear this, I'm sure. But if you want to follow me on Facebook, you can look up my athlete page or my personal page, Jessica the Black Widow Borga, or Instagram at Jessie Tornado, and my Twitter, which I'm not on as often as I probably should be, I know, at Black Widow Borga.
Wait. Jessie Tornado, what's that about? I got to ask you. I was
I knew somebody was going to ask us a question eventually.
I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, I cannot find this woman. I know she follows me on Instagram. What is going on? And then she just comes out of it with this Jessie Tornado. What is up with this?
It's so fun. Okay, my nickname growing up was Tornado. Everyone would call me, "What's our Jessie Tornado?" in school and stuff like that, because I guess I'm a tornado of different people's like personalities inside my body. But so they called me Jessie Tornado for the longest time, and when I started MMA, that's the name that I wanted, honestly, was Jessie Tornado. But there's already Tisha Torres, little tiny tornado, and so my coach came up with Black Widow, and I didn't like it at first, but it kind of grew on me, and now I like it. But that's the reason why my Instagram name is Jessie Tornado. It was already posted.
Should have been the Tsunami.
Tsunami, I like that too.
And just remember, there are multiple fighters out there with the same nickname. So just because Tisha Torres had the tiny tornado just didn't mean that you couldn't have it. Granted, it would have been odd considering the both of you are from Florida, but I'll give you that.
That is not too far
there
from
might
each
be a lot
other
of
either.
tornadoes coming around.
Hey, we do have hurricanes a lot, so I mean, close.
Yeah, I've never seen too many tornadoes in Florida.
Yeah, well, for now,
just people.
For now on,
Dorothy's like,
from now on,
the Wizard of Oz.
From this point moving forward, I'm referring to you as F5 now. That's it. I'm referring to you as F5.
F5. Dude, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. I should have kept that.
Right. Hey, fighters change their nicknames all the time, too. Remember that. But, Jeff, as always, it's a pleasure talking to you. I wish we could have some more time with you to pick your brain about this, that, and the third. But got to get our next guest on here. As always, wish you nothing but the best moving forward. We'll have you on here again sometime in the future. Hopefully you make that announcement and we can start figuring out when we're going to have you back on. And we can't make this so far in between. It's been a while, so we'll try to get you back on here again shortly. And best of skill on the upcoming adventure.
All right, it sounds great. Thank you guys for having me back. I always enjoy it.